is a quick live. Back to my roots of pop-up lives. Before we did all this high quality videos and my whole setup and editing and all that stuff, pop-up videos is where it was at. So that's why you've seen me do like random pop-up videos. What I wanted to talk to you guys about. So first of all, I have some footage that I'm gonna upload. It's such a shame that I had a week worth of footage the week before my dad passed. I recorded all this footage and I was planning to upload it on my page, and then it just took the wind out of my sails and I never ended up uploading it. I don't know if I will. The one thing I did make sure to upload was the fitness competition that I did that happened to be hours before his passing. But everything else, like these beach workouts that I did and some talks that I didn't upload any of that stuff. But somebody sent me a video yesterday about the 7 stages of grief. And I've already read stuff and looked up stuff about the 7 stages of grief before. But I learned something new, because it's one thing when you watch something when you're not in the midst of it, and it's like another thing when you're going through the middle of it, and like, and I thought I wouldn't think that I was in the denial phase, because I thought that denial literally means no, he's not gone. Like, this person is not gone. They're still here somewhere. Like, I don't believe that they're gone. When I learned that denial is not that. Denial is just like your brain compartmentalizing things to where it doesn't allow you to fully feel the depth of the pain of what is going on. So for me right now, it's manifesting itself as a numbness. It's like a real numbness that I feel to everything. I don't feel extremely sad. I don't feel like an extreme amount of anything. Extremely happy, sad, anything in between. I just feel numb to a lot of it. I feel down. Yes, I do. Like, I wake up and I feel like the energy is lacking. I feel like I don't have the same energy and push and drive to do the things that I normally do on the day-to-day, including gym stuff or like exercise and business things that I'm trying to figure out. I don't have that right now. But I don't feel like an extreme amount of sadness. I'm not waking up every day crying in the morning and crying at night. I did cry a little bit on the day that I got the news, but it wasn't like some uncontrollable, like unbearable feeling or anything like that. It's just more of like a general sadness that I feel right now. Just he's gone. He's not coming back. But yeah, it made me realize, reading that information, watching that video, that I'm on a very early phase, and there's nothing wrong with that, because my immediate family is not on that phase. Definitely not on that phase. At least from observation, they're on a different phase than me. But I have learned that that's the phase that I am on. And it's a little scary, to be honest, because it makes me realize that there's further phases down the line that are going to be more difficult than this one. And I've heard and seen and read that this is a phase of protection. And I believe that a part of the reason why I'm in this phase is because we still have not had the funeral or the burial as of yet. And those are going to require a lot of my emotional energy for those things. And right now we're still doing planning. We're still having people call every single day. My phone is always ringing. I'm surprised my phone has been quiet for this long because that never happens. My phone has been ringing off the hook for the last 2 weeks. So I sit here and I say to myself, I feel like, obviously nobody can tell you an exact timing for when you're really gonna go through it like that, but for me I would say like once you get to the services and once you get to the burial, that's gonna be a time of release. And then I have a little bit of time off of work because, as I will keep saying until I'm blue in the face, it's not right that a company can have a 3-day grieving policy. Like, how can you spend 3 days grieving and then you're okay to just go back and resume normal activity? There's not, like, whoever decided that should be sitting in a prison right now doing life sentence. For all those people who had to lose somebody major in their life like that and just jump back into work after 3 days. But yeah, that's what I learned about the grieving process. I'm in the denial phase. I believe that eventually it would be a good idea for me to see like a grief counselor, but it has to be the right one, because I'll tell you guys the truth. I've seen all kinds of counselors in my lifetime. Some of them were wonderful, and some of them didn't do anything for me. So I don't want to see somebody just to see them. I want to see somebody who I know is going to be able to assist me, help me through what I'm going through. And it's hard for me to pinpoint. I have a minimum of like 10 people a day, minimum. How do you feel? And sometimes they're like, and sometimes when I'm like, I'm hanging on, I'm doing the best I can. You don't have to give me the BS. What do you really feel? And I'm like, what am I supposed to tell all 10 people, That's really the truth. The truth is, I don't really have a solid answer, like how do I feel, because there's been so much happening since then. I took the week off work. I took the 3-day bereavement time that they gave me, and then I used my 2 personal time off days that I had, because I only had 2. Since, as y'all know, I just started a new job, so I didn't have a big bank of time off days. And then that week seemed to just fly by, because there was very few periods of time when I wasn't with someone or talking to somebody or people visiting or, making funeral plans. Like, it just went by really fast, and then I was back at work. And then, I'm like right back into the swing of my life, but not feeling like I've even had time to breathe and process this major change. And it's a different change for somebody who has experienced a parent with dementia and Alzheimer's, because you experience 2 losses, okay? I remember actually crying when my dad was still alive, when I looked at how much he had broken down in comparison to the way that he used to be. Because people are like, oh, enjoy this time that you have with him. You're so blessed that he's still here. He's still last lasted this long, whatever. And I definitely understand the concept. But when you see somebody who can't eat, they talk, they're always physically in pain. They have contractures because their legs are all contracted up. They have all these bed sores um, from being paralyzed, and then also in combination probably not being turned enough. Like it's just sad and heartbreaking to see them alive also. So it's like there's some comfort in the fact that they're still breathing, but there's some pain involved with that as well. So I remember many days feeling in pain and feeling sad after leaving my visit with him. And now it's like a whole new pain. Even though I know he's not in pain anymore, it's like he's not here either. So I sit here and I'm like, whether my life with him was good, bad, otherwise, because it's all of the above. Anyone who tells you any different about their parent or whatever is lying to you. And I don't lie. There was times when it was good, there was times when it was not good, there was times when it was everything in between, but it doesn't change the fact that I miss him. But there's a lot of things to go through and work through and figure out. And like my life, I'm still here. I'm still here for the duration that I'm still here. I don't know, but it could be 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. We don't know, actually, honestly, like whether our time is going to be 5 minutes from now or 50 years. But I'm just saying, hypothetically and potentially, my life could be another 40 years, 50 years. And I've had a whole lifetime. My first 35 years, my whole lifetime has been with him there. And whatever life I have next, whatever life I have left, he's not going to be there. So it's just a real feeling of feeling lost. Where do I go from here? What do I do from here? How am I going to do with processing this loss once all of that really comes into play? But yeah, I just wanted to share that for those who this might help. It helps me to share, but I know that I've been told on many occasions that the things that I share about myself, how I feel about my life, help other people. Hi, D. They help other people. And interestingly enough, my dad at some points in times told me I share too much, and he's basically like, people will take that information that you've shared and use it against you. Here's my thing. He's not wrong. Some people will take this and say, for sharing this, I so appreciate this. I felt these feelings too. They are this, hearing you say that, especially as a male, helps me, because I relate or whatever. There is others who will be like, oh, look at this guy, he's weak, or like, why is he oversharing or sharing too much? Because this stuff lives on the internet. Or even if I was just talking to people in my life, it would be like, not everyone has your best interest at heart. All of that is true, One thing, I think my dad was starting to come around, especially in his later years, and especially after he got sick, because he asked me to watch my YouTube page, and he watched a couple of videos of me talking about my mental health challenges, and he told me that he loved the videos. So I feel like he was starting to come around to the fact that this is me. Like, this might not have been who he is. This might not have been who his siblings are or were, or his dad, or his family. That's not in his culture or his background to be talking about things like this and to do so in such an open way. But you take the best of what you've learned from the generation that raised you, and then you do better. And I think that if he knew from early days when he was in his 30s raising me that there was a better way, he would have done it a better way. But he knew the way that he knew from what was done with him. He kind of replicated that way, maybe improved upon it in some ways, but I'm taking the baton and running with it in my own way. I'm living my life in my own way. I am living my life. I am going to live my life in a way that honors, my parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, people that were instrumental to my upbringing. But I'm also going to take what I've learned from the world that I have grown up in and use that to push the next generation, Keep talking, it helps. Yeah, and at times I haven't been talking often, but I am making sure that at times when I feel good to do that, I do share. I do share at least with people that I trust, that I love and trust, because it is important. You can sit there and it can just eat you alive. And if you don't talk to anybody, I spend a lifetime not talking to anybody. Matter of fact, I've told this story on this channel before, that when I first started going to therapy, which was about 2011 maybe, I was about 23. I think I was about 23 the first time I went to therapy. And I used to sit in the therapist's office. She would ask me questions. Mark, how's this going? How are you doing with this? How are you doing with that? And second, I'm just checking the time. Okay. I'm making good time. I'm almost home. The therapist would ask me, how's this going? How's that going? And I'm like, okay, it's okay. Because I was always taught by my family, especially my immediate family and my grandparents, like, protect yourself by not telling anybody anything. And it's like, so how I think now is, don't tell everybody everything. But I don't believe in don't tell anybody anything. Pick a few people within your inner circle that you really trust, that you trust with your life, and confide in them and get assistance from them. Let them know how you're feeling or what's going on with you, because if you don't do that, that's energy. I feel like that's energy, and it can manifest itself in so many ways. And for me, it was manifesting itself in severe panic attacks, which became agoraphobia. And I never in my life want to let that happen again. So I do have my people, and I have this now as an outlet. I'm not going to say I share everything on this outlet, because I can't. It is a public social platform. But I do share some things on here that 75% of the people in my day-to-day don't hear, or they don't get that from me. So it's become a therapeutic platform, a therapeutic thing for me to do as well. So anyways, that's the end of what I have to talk about for right now. I have something cool that I want to do, that I want to work on later, but I'm not going to announce it. I'm just going to see if I can just take the time to do it. And you guys will see it later if I can. And make sure, thanks for your support. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe. Hit the notification bell to get notified of when I drop some more great content. Bye.